Hello, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Can you guys see me and hear me? Good morning. Good morning. Can you guys see me and hear me? Good morning. So I added another camera so that you guys can see the table. Good morning. Kind of good. It's going to be sideways for now until I figure something out. But at least you can kind of see the cards now. That's not what I'm going to do. All right, that'll work for now. What's this one? Oh, that's better. Okay. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you, everyone, for becoming members. Let's see. Scroll back to the top. Will I be successful in lowering my cholesterol and blood pressure with the change in my diet and supplementing? So that's going to start to get the ball rolling on giving you more energy, I feel like. And then once you have the more energy, it's like the other changes are easier to make. It feels like there's going to need to be something additional here in combination with that. But it is going to be a good step in the right direction. Oh, Better Days by Dermont Kennedy. So yes, it is going to go in a positive direction. There's just something else that's also needed, a different change as well. What is making me feel so physically and mentally drained? It feels like there's a little bit of depletion when it comes to your divine masculine. So he's like looking over at her, like your divine masculine in a way. Oh, you can't see. Your divine masculine in a way is kind of like in survival mode. There's something that needs to be expressed that is energetically kind of pulling you away from making certain changes. It feels like a bit of needing to make changes, but self-sabotaging, like convincing yourself that the changes wouldn't make that big of a difference because they're small changes, but in reality, they would make a big difference. Will I meet my soulmate husband this year or even ever in this lifetime? Yes, but it feels like there's a need to complete a cycle in which you're almost expecting any relationship that you do find to go wrong. It's like you're looking for, how am I going to ruin this, right? And it's needing to kind of shift your mindset in regard to that. There is this 10 of cups here, so yes, you will, but at the same time, there's a need to shift a mindset that's keeping you from feeling like you're worthy of someone fighting for you and like working towards something instead of just walking away, knowing that you're worthy of that. Tell Your Heart to Beat Again by Danny Goki. $2:10 in Australia. Wow. It's 10:30 here. That's a big time difference. Will Brian ever talk to me again, or has he moved on? Try and move this out so you can see the cards better. There we go. It feels as though he's moved on. This would be the third party energy here. It feels like he's very, there's something that's blocking him from really being ready to commit. So he's going for connections with people who don't make him feel like there's going to be a need to commit. Kind of like more flaky type of relationships. It does look like there's someone else involved in this. So it looks like he has moved on. That doesn't mean he won't loop back, but it feels like if he does, it's not in your best interest. I'm getting past all the good mornings. Good morning, everybody. Let me see. Is my dad proud of me, and will I lose my job? It looks like you're going to lose your job so something better can come. It looks like there is a need to plan accordingly in regards to the job situation, like planning as if you're going to lose the job, but it looks like it's setting up for something better. Is your dad proud of you? Very. I'm hearing you keep standing back up. Get knocked down 7 times, stand back up 8 is what I'm hearing. Very proud of for who you're becoming. No Particular Place to Go by Chuck Berry. Yeah, like he's saying it's okay about the job. You're being pushed into something better. Will I ever move from the town I'm in? You have more options than you're taking up right now. There's a need to take action towards options of stepping out of your comfort zone. If you want to leave the area, it's almost like you need to show yourself that you're good at handling stepping out of your comfort zone for your brain to start to really calculate those moves of how to make that happen. It is possible to leave the area. When your Empress era will come. I know you just saw that. High Priestess and 6 of Wands, it's coming. It's all about taking action. It's rebalancing out your divine masculine energy of like action and drive. Getting back aligned with those energies brings about that Empress era. High Priestess era to be exact. So a little bit more spiritual in a sense. Will I need a passport for May, or should I just save the money? It feels like it's money well spent to have, even if you don't end up needing it in May. I'm feeling like you're not going to necessarily need it in May, but it's money well spent to have it, if that makes sense. Do I have spiritual gifts? Yes, it feels like something significant during childhood about feeling like your emotions were too big or being told to kind of calm down an emotional reaction is kind of what started to cut you off from the gifts. But they're there. They're there. It feels like very heart led. So when you feel like you need to kind of hide your heart so that you don't get hurt, it's harder to connect. The gifts are there. It feels like going back to how you felt, like looking back at your childhood. In what way do you feel like you were most connected with either nature or yourself? That's where you're going to find those gifts. Should I make the leap into a new career path? Consulting. Yes, big yes. Oh, yeah. More money. This feels like more more choices that you have. Like you get to choose more for yourself. Definitely a financial increase here. And it's almost like it feels like your work ethic is very high and you don't necessarily get a reward for that now. It's just like everyone kind of does the same thing where it feels like there's more room for growth. What will I find success in doing? It's definitely not whatever you were doing in the past. It feels like some kind of communication that involves problem solving, if that makes sense, like mixing in communications and problem solving in like a direct way is what I'm getting. Communications plus problem solving in a direct way. And whatever you did in the past, it's something different. Since I got laid off my full-time job, I've been developing intuition and gifts of myself. Am I doing the right thing? Am I doing it? Yes, look, you're going from the page to the king. So this is like star-crossed, right? So he's like looking at the pentacle, looking at the shooting star. It's like you made the wish and then you took action on it. And that's how you're kind of developing. So it's coming from within, and it's kind of, it's giving me the energy of like, I'm sick of not taking advantage of what I know is there. So I make a wish and then I'm given the opportunity, excuse me, to take action towards developing it. So yes and yes. My spirit guide got a message. Things are going to start to shift in your favor, even though you don't feel like you have the energy to make changes. It's like you get some kind of win, and the win gives you a boost of energy to make changes. It also feels like, yeah, it's like whatever combative energies have kind of been, it feels like there's like a bit of a dark cloud energy following you. That's going to start to go away. It's starting to turn in your favor. Girlfriend Marissa's taking a break from a relationship to focus on nursing school. Will she come back? it feels like there's an additional reason in why she made the decision, but she made the decision at the time she made the decision because it coincided with, I don't want to say like an excuse, but like, if I do it now, it's believable that it's because of this when it's also because of something else. I feel, yeah, no, I feel like she's going to move on. This is freedom, going on a new path. And then this is like back away slowly type of energy, and kind of hope that you don't fight too hard for her so that she doesn't have to address it directly, if that makes sense. So it feels like it's better to have in mind that you're going to move forward. Will my business thrive and grow this year? Yes. Shortly after, it's like you make some kind of decision or you make a change, or like, it's almost like there's an indicator that you'll be able to be like, okay, it's coming soon. Because big yes here. It's either because of a decision made, or the decision made is an indicator of it being right around the corner. What does 2024 look like for me? It looks like you signed up for some lessons this year. Almost like you're going to end up giving up something that you felt like you needed or felt like was like a solid piece of life, in order to shed away layers that are not you, so that moving into the next year, then we have the Magician. So this is like a year of preparation and shedding. All I Know So Far by Pink is the song. That actually goes perfect with what I just said. Haven't always been this way. I wasn't born a renegade. You're shedding. You're finding out who you are this year. Happy birthday. Oh yeah, I forgot it's your birthday today. Everybody say happy birthday to Mama Hen. It's her birthday today. You're becoming the person that your inner child or childhood self will be very proud of. Your inner child, childhood self is celebrating a major cycle that you just completed, in which you had to learn how to take a leap of faith on yourself and trust yourself. And because of that, the worry and tension is going to start to dissipate because you took some kind of action or are getting ready to take some kind of action. So you're on your birthday, your childhood self is saying that I'm very proud of you. You're stronger than you feel in this moment. Release toxicity and turn to your soul tribe. Are the messages from that inner child. Happy birthday to you as well. Deception dismantled. Birthday message. Similar here. So there's an opportunity. I said similar here, and then the Six of Cups came out. Oh, those are the same two cards. So also your inner child, this is more of like encouragement from your inner child to listen to your intuition about something, so that you can bring in fresh energy by taking action on something that's stressing you out. So your intuition is trying to tell you something, and you have the tools to trust it and like follow it. Will my job give me a promotion soon? Yes, but a little bit, not as soon as you'd like. It is coming, but not as soon as you would like it. It almost feels like, how do I put this? not like suck up to your bosses, but it feels like you do something that makes a boss look good and it comes soon after that. But it feels like a little bit away still. I'd say at least like, I want to say like 9 months, 3 at the earliest, if you're expecting it like sooner, but it feels like more like 9 months. Am I wasting my time with Jordan? Will he ever do right by me? It feels like this right away said to me third party. This is like I just can't find a place that I'm satisfied enough to not do stuff I shouldn't be doing. And I pick fights to cover up for that. And I'm stuck in this energy of cycling through that because I don't love myself and I'm trying to keep secrets. I would say probably not. Not it does not look like anytime soon he would choose to do right by you. Will my husband and I ever catch up and get ahead? Something needs to change other than what in the current situation there needs to be a big shift. Is it possible to catch up? Yes, but it's like something. I almost want to say it's like that throwing bad money after good quote or whatever that means. It's like something needs to drastically shift in order to get back on track. Not that it's not possible, but looking at different mindsets or options or something along those lines. You're welcome. Am I in the right relationship and will it last? It feels like it's a lesson that's going to be learned here. You're in the right relationship to learn a lesson. It feels like the two of you actually have some kind of karma together to work out. But it looks like ultimately there's going to be, am I going to stay where I'm unsatisfied or am I going to walk away? Am I going to, it feels like you're not intellectually stimulated enough or conversation isn't what it needs to be. And that could change, but it looks like as of it stands right now, eventually there's going to be a choice in which you'll have to choose yourself. Because when I built our home, however, due to budgeting, we didn't completely finish it. Will we finish or will we relocate and move? It feels like you'll eventually relocate and move. Almost like it doesn't feel worth the fight, or it doesn't feel like it could be something else interests you and you're like, oh, well, that's better than this. Might as well just go for that. Or it could be there's just too many frustrations and you're like, I'm just going to look for something else. So I don't know which comes first, but it feels like you eventually relocate. But Page of Wands is reversed, so probably not. I don't feel like far. I mean, it could be somewhere you relocate rather close. Or if you have like a further place and a not so far place, it's probably the closer one. Last week I would lose my job from timeline. And will it affect my trip and people? Do we have a timeline for the job? Yes. Is it in the next 6 months? Is it in the next 4 months? About 4 to 6 months. Will it affect my trip to Italy in April? No. No, it won't affect the trip to Italy in April. I mean, unless you want to like think of like savings and stuff like that, or like if you end up having another interview in April, then I would say it may affect that. But other than that, no. What is coming for me in the next month? You're going to hear about somebody getting their karma for either choosing someone else over you or doing something behind your back. It's like inescapable type of karma. It feels like for a masculine energy. You're going to get some news that makes you, not that you want someone to experience bad karma, but you're going to have some news that's kind of like, oh, okay, the universe does look out for me, if that makes sense. What am I advised to do? Move out, move to Korea. Move out, move to Korea. It feels like Korea would be peaceful for you. It feels like you're going to be emotionally torn about moving out, but it feels like Korea, I'm getting a like coming back to life feeling about Korea. Like you'll feel like you're coming back to life. Was I meant to walk away from a 6-year friendship? If so, why? The person wasn't who they were portraying themselves to be to you energetically. This person didn't really want to see you doing well. This is a situation where like someone threw rocks and hid their hand or just didn't have good intentions for you. And the universe was like, no more, we're going to remove this person from the path. Yeah, access denied, no matter what their role was in your life, because they didn't wish well for you. Yeah, needing to walk away so that you weren't thrown off balance. It's almost like this person was purposely confusing you. I don't know if that's like literally through magic or just like intentions or something. It's like this person, you needed to get away from this person because they were making you confused about your potential or who you are, or it could just be heavily projecting onto you, like their false self, and that's starting to affect you. My cousin is trying to decide if she should move in to help with our grandmother. Should she move? She's not going to enjoy it if she does. I'll put it this way. Could the help from the grandmother, like, would it be useful for her to be there? Yes. Is your cousin going to probably really dislike doing it? Yes. So should she? If she's okay with sacrificing, it feels like her mental health, like needing to be very cautious about mental health if she does. The help could be useful, but also how is she doing mental health wise already? Like, is there wiggle room? Because it's gonna wiggle. There's gonna be some frustrations. Is my daughter-in-law in a safe place, and will she recover from her traumatic brain injury? In a safe place? Is she in a safe place? I'd say for the most part. I am getting like there's some background issues, but they don't feel very close, but they feel there. Will she ever be a part of your granddaughter's life? Right now, I'm getting that it's not progressing in that direction. It's almost like needing to summon in more help so that this can flip and so that she can be heading back towards the child. It feels like that's not what's happening right now, but it is possible in the future. My dog passed a while back, and I've since moved from where I used to fear. I don't feel her anymore. She's still around me. Yes, it came with you. Can't get rid of me that easily. It almost feels like, how do I put this? Like you panic looked for her. Like you didn't feel the dog at first. So it started to turn into a panic. Like, okay, there's nothing I can do. I can't go back now and re-access that connection. The connection's still there. You just need to kind of either learn what new signs to look for, or you could do the thing I always say with the playlist and kind of create a playlist. And in the moments where you're like, I'm starting to feel a little bit of the presence, then hit shuffle on the playlist, and the rest of the message or the rest of the feeling will come through. Still there, came with you for sure. Just needing to relearn how to communicate in a new environment, I guess. I heard someone say one time that when people pass, it's like or animals pass, anyone passes, it's like a car that backfires, and at first it's very condensed air, and then it kind of spreads out. So the presence is still the same. It's still there. It's just needing to relearn the language, I guess you could say, of it. Well, thank you. Does my dad want to tell me anything? Stop doubting yourself when it comes to making decisions, especially when it comes to other people. You read other people very well, but you almost feel like you question if you're just being judgmental. Like if you read something on someone and you're like, that doesn't feel good, it's like you go inside and you're like, no, I'm just being judgmental. That can't be the case. And it's like that puts you in situations where you might not put up the right boundaries or walls for those people that don't need to be having that access to you, because you feel like you're judging them when in reality you're just reading their energy. So just trust yourself, yeah, so that you don't have to deal with manipulation from those people. 8 Days a Week by the Beatles is the song. When will my job promotion come through? We're celebrating the decision after some kind of this feels like an unexpected conversation with someone that almost like tests you in a way to see if you're ready, if that makes sense. Do we have a date on the job promotion? Is it within the next 6 months? Next 6 months? Next 4 months? 5 months? Is it in 6 months? In about 6 months. Yeah, it's like you unknowingly beat out some kind of competitive element and then you're given it. It feels like that has something to do with this conversation that comes up. Like, almost like go test and see how they respond if I say this, and then you say the right thing and it puts you above another person that could be in the running, if that makes sense. Is the relationship I'm in going to last? Yes, but there is going to be some issue that you work through, and it may be that there's a break taken at that point. It does look like the relationship comes back together after that, but there's like an unavoidable lull. It feels like you take a break or walk away for a period of time and then end up coming back together. Will they ever find David Schultz? David Schultz. Oh, that's a devil. Oh. I don't think they're going to find him alive. That's not to say we won't hear some news, but I don't think it looks good, unfortunately. Which, if the energy feels different than when I did that reading, it feels worse. My son keeps getting sick since he moved home. What can he do to help his immune system? Some kind of preventative care, something off balance. Another, like a, so I was thinking like heavy metal detox route, and then this came out. So it does feel like that would help correct an imbalance in the system. Almost like his body needs to be like purged of, yeah, independence, get off me type of thing. Purge, like shedding, to restore a balance here. So it feels like they do like foot bath detoxes. It feels like almost like a parasite type thing that once he gets out, he'll feel better because it's causing some kind of imbalance. Oh, thank you. What do you see in the next 6 months for me? Might a surgery be in my future? I feel like surgery could go either way. It's almost like you're going to maybe be presented with like, do you want to try this? And you don't necessarily have to, but we can. And this is what would happen if we did. This is what would happen if we didn't. I tend to believe you don't go with it though. Almost like there's another option. Yeah. Either there's another option, or maybe it would be that you'd have to like pay a ridiculous amount out of pocket for it or something, and you're just kind of like, never mind. In the next 6 months, I see some kind of fast progress of healing. It's like you find the right individual or something to help with an ongoing problem in the next 6 months. Is there a curse on me and my daughter? It feels like there was money that exchanged hands from an angry man who didn't get what he wanted, and almost thought that it was like a joke to do a curse. I don't think it's on your daughter. I think it's just on you. From an angry, but I mean, that's not to say it can't still affect her, but it feels like needing to just kind of do a cord cutting or create that intention to cut ties with a masculine energy, feels older, that did not get what he wanted and had an ego hurt about it. Do my spirit guides have a message for me? You're about to get a major clue about how to, it feels like codependency, but it feels like codependency to a certain level of control. It's like you're going to get something that allows you to go with the flow in a way that you normally wouldn't, and to trust yourself. And it also feels like there's another individual coming in to kind of help you with this or guide you with this. That's going to be beneficial. So feels like someone who is a little bit younger and very passionate is going to kind of be a little bit of a guide for you. Was my imaginary friend a spirit guide? Say it. Yes. Almost like to teach you the language of spirit guide communication, like planting the seeds. This is giving me the energy of like leaving breadcrumbs so that you kind of remember like the innocence of communicating with a spirit guide. So this one's on a horse, and this is you, like just do going about the day. And then this is like almost like an imaginary, what's that, unicorn type energy. It feels like just leaving you breadcrumbs so that later in life you could refer back to that time and help it build a bridge to realign you with the divine. So yes, a spirit guide. Does my daughter have spirit guides with her? She's 12, but seems like an old soul. Yes. it feels like at times she gets very overwhelmed or very like overstimulated, and the spirit guides are there to kind of help get her to take a breath and like ease back into the moment. It feels like they're there a lot when there are those moments of overwhelm, because there's a specific like lesson that she can use to her advantage after she kind of overcomes that part of her brain and like controls the overwhelm. It's like there's a key in there with the old soul element. There's like a key in there that helps her unlock that old soul in her from overcoming that overwhelm feeling. Oh, thank you. I appreciate you. Is my mom at peace after passing? Does she show me signs that she's with me? Yes, but it's almost like this can be, I don't want to scare you, or this can be, how do I put it? I would show you more direct signs, but I don't want to upset you. I feel like you're still getting a little upset by the signs, and I want to show you signs, but I also don't want to just like pop in and get you upset in the middle of a work day, if that makes sense, or in the middle of the day. Yeah, I hold myself back. I'm always there, but I hold myself back because I don't want to, almost like feeling like popping in could throw off when you're focused and like not sad or doing well, like not wanting to take you back in time. I am not dead, and please understand that it was my time to go. Where Everybody Knows Your Name by Gary Portnoy. Oh, there's two. Rise Up by Andra Day is. When will I get person for dinner? Unacceptable, sick to her. She has never talked to my son, her brother. When will I get to hear her voice? When will I get to hear her voice? It feels like eventually, but not anytime soon. It feels like there's something preventing that from happening. Almost like see, I don't know if you're talking about a person who's alive or a person that passed, but this is almost giving the energy of like I'm in a different realm. I have to come back to reality, if that makes sense, in order for that to happen. Like she is trying to reach me and tell me something about her death. What could it be? To be weary of someone who's still alive about some kind of deception. Maybe surrounding money. Oh. To be weary of someone who's still alive surrounding the topic of finances. Signed, sealed, delivered by Stevie Wonder. Be checking and double checking anything you're signing or anything you have signed. There's some kind of deception. One person. Iris by Grace Davies. Iris, C, I. I'm trying to show you deception from one person. What kind of job, if any, do you see coming for me and how soon? Something new and less strenuous or less serious. Not as much flexibility as you would necessarily like. It's like almost like you have to give up it honestly feels like you're going to get a job you don't like that much, and then it's like a transitionary phase. It's almost like you're going to have to give up certain things to have a temporary, and then that pushes you towards something better. It's like almost seeing like a frog hopping from pad to pad. Feels like that energy. I would say within the next 6 to 8 months is the first one. It almost feels like you get something that's not serious, and then you end up wanting a little bit more seriousness or responsibility or something along those lines. Is anyone from the other side looking for me? Yes, to help you heal. Needing to kind of learn how to communicate with them. So that can be through music, that can be through channeled writing, stream of consciousness writing, setting intentions for like dream communication. And then when you wake up in the morning, like writing down stream of consciousness thoughts. Someone from the other side is trying to help you heal, but it's almost like they're not able to reach you. But once they can, you'll make progress on healing. Almost like they want to hand you like a key for healing, if that makes sense. Uh-oh, what just happened? I don't know where I am. One second. Pending divorce at this time. Was there more to the dissolution of our marriage than I am aware of? Somebody's hiding money. Either hiding money, hiding property, hiding. It almost feels like when you have your name on something that someone else doesn't know about, not you, the other person, your ex-spouse. Like let's say I'm your ex-spouse and I have my name on something and I know I'm about to get divorced, so I take my name off of something, get divorced, and then put my name back on. It feels like there's something like that. It also feels like there's another woman here that's in his ear. It doesn't feel like cheating per se, but it feels like, why do you know so much about the relationship type thing? It also feels like he was working a little while on the moving around of whatever it is, or like the secrecy. Like if you look back and you say, okay, I think it started happening around this time, it's actually a bit earlier than that, like 6 months earlier than that, when things started to prepare, I guess you'd say. I shuffled my playlist as you said about my dog. It came up, Adele, when we were young. Is my dog upset that I put her down when I did? This feels like I'm tired of fighting. Right away, the mother card. So as a mother, you made the right decision. It feels like there was no more preventative care or no more like comfort that could be brought to the situation. So yes, definitely feels like you made the right decision. Is not upset that you put her down when you did. Feels like you made the right decision. Will my finances get better? Will I be sent more people to read for and heal? Yes, needing to not fear switching things up. I almost want to say like increased vulnerability when connecting with your audience in some way. We do have 10 of Cups here, so it is coming, but it comes after we free ourselves from either fear of failure, fear of rejection. Like there's some kind of like the bungee cord breaks loose so you can go forward after that is addressed. So it is there. It's just needing to address something first. Somehow got brought back to the top. My mom passed 20 years ago. Why is it the day after everyone but my dad and brother acted like people I did not know my sister? That's them. Everyone but my dad and brother. So that's your sisters. It feels like your brother was in a freeze state. Like your brother was going with the motions, just trying to not show emotions, I feel, or at least control the amount of emotions that were shown. It feels like there's some, how do I put this? I don't want attention to be on me. I don't want to be the upset one. I want to kind of blend in with the crowd is the energy I'm getting from them. It feels like trying to protect it. I almost want to say protect the secret or protect eyes from being on them, if that makes sense. Will me and my old friend Stephanie reconnect? It feels like you'll be offered the opportunity to, but it's almost like you're going to see different colors of her personality that you don't necessarily like. It feels like Stephanie doesn't really want to see you doing well, honestly. Or at least not better than her. Yeah. I feel like you'll be presented the opportunity to, but I don't feel like you're going to want to really continue it. You're going to get like a glimpse of energy that you don't like. Will I need more breath work release sessions to release the trapped energy in my body, or can I do it myself? It almost feels like you're at a pivot point where you're meant to show yourself that you can do it without the help of others, that you can do it. It almost feels like if you kind of recorded your own meditation as if you are your higher self talking to your current self in like like you can Google like a meditation script and then just kind of record yourself talking. It feels like you're going, it could benefit you to still do what you're doing, but it would also benefit you more to increase like control by showing yourself what you're capable of in terms of like rewiring parts of your brain. Do you see me taking a lympathic class, and do you see me moving away from my current location? See me taking a class. I see you either finding at least a different option from whatever the one you're looking at now is, or I see you going about it in a different way. That could be like teaching yourself or something. It feels like you're taking action and getting something that you wanted to happen, but not in the way that you thought, if that makes sense. Do you see me moving away from my current location? No, I don't see you moving away. I almost see your mind changing about what you want to happen in that case. Like kind of deciding you want something different than what you think you want right now. Question about husband, Ashley. I don't know. I don't know if I saw it. Try to send it again if you see this, Ashley. I'm having angiogram this Tuesday, looking at possible foot surgery. Will this all be successful in the long run? I don't feel like you're going to have all the mobility that you would like to have in the end. And that's not to say that can't be worked through, but I feel like you're going to have problems with mobility. You are going to get progress, but it also feels like at the same time, balance is going to be restored. Healing is going to come, but it's going to be more time consuming and it's going to take longer to get back to like maximum mobility, and maximum mobility might not be what you hope that it is. It might be less than that, but it does feel like it works out in the long run. I would say like 75 to 80%. Any messages from my guides? What are my spiritual gifts? It feels like a mix between clear feeling and clairaudience. It feels like right now there's a need to really ground yourself to be present in your mind to experience that. It's almost like you have the ability to clearly feel and then confirm that with asking for an audio reference. It feels like right now your root chakra is really in need of some stabilization and clearing, and that's what will really connect you with the ability to hear clearly. Also, you can do like like hypnosis scripts or meditations, or setting the intention to kind of call in like the building of a clairaudience channel, so it's more direct. I'm going to stay on about 15 more minutes. Next week, I'm going to do 2 members lives and then probably 2 regular ones too. Do I need surgery on my shoulders, or will stretching it every day make them better? It feels like it could kind of go either way. It feels like one shoulder is worse than the other shoulder. It feels like stretching every day isn't going to give you back the flexibility or mobility that potential surgery would have. But it also feels like you have the opportunity to do it without surgery, but needing to long-term stick to a routine to keep yourself like flexible in that area. Almost like with surgery, it wouldn't be as long-term needing to keep up with certain things, where without surgery, you can still be okay, but you need to long-term keep up with certain things with like stretching and mobilization and stuff like that. It also feels like there's something additional that could help you. I don't know if it's like holistic health or like a different type of stretching. There's something additional that could help more than what you're doing right now. Will I awaken my higher consciousness? Yes, it's directly, oh, big yes. It's directly tied into your emotions though. And it feels like right now you're locked out of certain emotions. The way to let them out is through something you're passionate about. It's not just sitting there and like talking about or acknowledging your feelings. This is like you start to ascend as you actually transmute certain pain or certain energy or certain blockages that are tied to your feelings. So yes, self-loving yourself into creating some kind of magic. It could be a project, it could be like something that you research and study that kind of opens your mind. Think of like needing to open the pores of your mind to let in more spirit, and doing that like through passion or creativity in some way. Any insight to when I can leave my toxic job, either to build my business or work remotely? It feels like needing to kind of take things slow, build your business or work remotely while building my business. It feels like working remotely while building the business until you can kind of get everything balanced. It feels like this is very tied to your emotions, very tied to making sure that things are not emotionally draining you. The more life force energy you can put into not just energy, but like life force energy, like being very mindful about where your energy is going and who's in your energy. It feels like you building the business is very tied like spiritually and energetically. Do we have a date for leaving the toxic job? Is it within the next 6 months? 6 months? 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, about 6 months. I don't know if 6 months is when you'd end up leaving, or 6 months is when you'd start to like. It feels like between now and 6 months is the planning, and in 6 months is when you start kind of putting feelers out there, and then take it from there. What do my guides want me to know? You have more options than you are giving yourself credit for right now. There's a new opportunity available, but it requires you to choose. Like it's all in where your choice is going. And right now you're not taking action, but there's a celebration available for you with this new start, but you're standing in your own way by not making a decision. Pick what you want, pick what seed you want to plant and start investing your energy into it, and you're going to turn this 9 of Pentacles upright. You're going to have, it feels like some kind of I was going to say financial freedom, Page of Wands. Financial freedom stemming from a creative endeavor of some sort. Needing to kind of take the leap is what is the energy. Way Up by Ryan Oakes. Oh, the lyrics aren't there. We take it from the bottom to the top. I think that's the lyrics. Hold on. Oh, it took to the West Coast. So like California, like doing something big and bold career-wise is the message. Everybody knows your name. Something Portnoy. Gary Portnoy. Portnoy. Is my cat connected to me spiritually? A protector. It feels like tied to you from a past life, almost, where there was like a familiar that kind of protected you in a past life. It feels like the cat was not a cat though in the past life, something else, some other protector of yours in a past life that the energy is still kind of tied to you. So yes. Some advice for me to stop my impulse control. Getting to the root here, it feels like there's an energy of feeling like you don't deserve to take up space, or like that you have to almost like pay rent on the space you take up. So needing to reprogram that part of your psyche that doesn't feel like you need to rush to pay the rent on the space that you're taking up. Otherwise, the space will be taken. It's like working on that self-worth concept in regards to that. Basically getting to the root of where it's coming from. What is wrong with my daughter? I try and I fail, and then when I fail, I'm very hard on myself, so I convince myself that it's not worth the effort of trying, because at least when I'm not trying, I'm in a comfort zone. And it's all stemming back to needing to heal the root of what's causing an avoidance of emotional flow. I would say needing to kind of create a plan that can be like stuck to where emotions stay in flow, and there's a feeling of, even if I take one step forward and one step back, I don't go into a cycle of then just like backpedaling, if that makes sense. Oh, good. Yeah, it feels very spiritually and emotionally. It's like a triangle, like you and then emotions and spirit, and it's like all one triangle. So when all the points are lit up, that's what kind of is that building block, if that makes sense. Will my husband find healing for a chronic health issue he is having? Find healing. It feels like things are going to get worse before they have the potential to get better. But it also feels like he's gotten some kind of bad advice or limiting advice, like almost like if you are told something's not an option, so you're like, okay, I got to look other places, and then you don't look there again, when in reality that was something that could have helped. It feels like there's a little bit of some bad advice he was given, or like maybe even needing like a second opinion about something from like a different perspective, like either holistic health, um, or like tackling a different part of the problem. So like, I feel like there's a lot of stagnancy and built up emotions, and when they're built up for so long, they produce physically. It feels like there's a need to do things that are kind of out of the box, like little things like massage, stretch it, like things like that that get energy flowing, and then also looking at it from a different perspective. It feels like it gets worse before it gets better, but I also feel like this could be like, let's say you go and you start to either do like acupuncture or massage work or like stuff like that. It's like things come to the surface, which makes it feel worse. And then after they're worked through, it starts to get better. It feels like this is heavily tied into emotions for him. Yeah, it's like needing to open up a different door of healing and try kind of different modalities that might not seem directly related, but are related, if that makes sense. Was Lester my soulmate? Lester. No, it feels more like someone that you had karma with to work through. It was meant to be a transitionary relationship that pushes you into. It feels like this person kind of showed you what you do want in a partner, by not necessarily allowing things to be equal like you would have liked. So it does feel like this was a transitionary catalyst for growth. Oh, gotcha. Thank you for putting that. Will my daughter recover fully from ICU visit? Recover fully? There will be recovery, but it feels like there's going to be something that's at least ongoing, yeah, for a little while. I feel like there's something that is bothering her that she hasn't voiced to you, and maybe she doesn't even know. It's like there's something else that's being caused by it too, and that's not to worry you, just to more like keep an eye out. It feels like almost like one problem subsides, but it's replaced for a little bit with a different issue, and then it's like handling that issue. There will be progress, but it's not going to be what you would hope ideally. And it also feels like needing to either get a second opinion about something, or I'm just going to say like scan for like what else it could be that's connected to this that's bothering her, if that makes sense. Doesn't feel like it doesn't feel like something you need to freak out about, or like really, I'm just going to say like more of a discomfort or something, like an itch that can't be scratched type energy. But it feels like that eventually goes away, but it's like there's a second problem that's besides just the one that you're referring to. Oh, Rise Up by Andra Day. So it does get better. It just you get hit with a bit of a curveball, it feels like. I don't know where I am. I'm gonna do about 5-ish more. I should be back to investigative videos next week also. I think I'm gonna do a post to see what you guys want to see, because I'm very behind. What are my spiritual gifts? What video section? I'm actually in the middle of working on 2 things right now that I'm going to be releasing. One of them is like a bit of a hypnosis thing to unlock your gifts, and then a journal program as well. So I'm going to be making videos about them to put them on here. So that will be helpful once that comes out. What are my spiritual gifts? But the blueprint videos would help you to start. Your spiritual gifts with mediumship, channeling here. This is like channeling the divine and channeling the unalived. It feels like this really comes from your heart chakra. And right now there's a bit of a root chakra disconnect. So your heart chakra is a little bit more closed to the gifts until your root chakra becomes more balanced. But it does feel like channeling and mediumship are in there for you. My partner developed blood issues out of nowhere years ago. What caused it and what will help? It feels like this is either something that ran in his family that maybe people haven't detected, or something caused from an outside party or another person. Yeah, community. I almost want to lean more towards something within the family that is either undetected or unknown about, that was kind of like a ticking time bomb type thing. What will help? I'm audibly hearing acupuncture, acupuncture, acupuncture. I don't know how that would help, but that's what I'm hearing. I'm just going to throw that out there. It does feel like there's a different practitioner that hasn't been seen yet that could help. I almost want to say restore, like either vertigo, or it feels like there's a problem with like dizziness or something like that. There's something that can be helped for that part of it. I don't think that that's the acupuncture. I think the acupuncture is separate, but then there's also something that could help. It feels like either dizziness or vertigo, or like trouble with breath standing or something like that. There's an element like that that can be fixed. Why do I keep seeing 1212 on the clock? For years I left and there the same day as my birthday. It's meant to be getting your attention to, okay, I'm getting a sign. What am I not seeing? What do I need to be shifting my focus onto? What could be up ahead that I need to be preparing for? It's meant to be, I don't want to say like a warning, to like making sure you're ready. Almost like just reminding you, like, hey, pay attention. Hey, pay attention. It feels like that, so that you can, I want to say, avoid like going with the flow too much and not picking up on certain clues or like things that you need to be paying attention to that could be more in passing. It's like bringing you back to the moment, if that makes sense. Um, I feel like when you do see it, you could kind of say to your spirit team, okay, show me what I'm missing, or show me what I need to know, and you'll be given like a sign. It's almost like a text message that's just saying, hey, and then you get to see where to take the conversation with your guides, if that makes sense. What is my spiritual gift? It feels like clear seeing. Like you're able to kind of close your eyes and like allow yourself to focus on any like kind of shadows that you see. It feels like the visual element of the third eye, um, which can really be strengthened by like planning, like visualization of, I want to see this happen in my life, and then allowing things to unfold in a way that brings you towards that really strengthens that third eye. It feels like also, you can kind of sit with a piece of paper and draw. It feels like allowing yourself to channel the creation of visuals, if that makes sense. And then it may look like just scribbles to other people, and you might be like, oh, I know exactly what that means, if that makes sense. Oh, Lester was a cat. What did I say? I meant to teach you a lesson and be in passing. So yeah, it's like a spirit guide of yours then that was like teaching you. That makes sense with the lesson part, like teaching you certain different ways to love yourself, I guess you could say. You grew up with a cyst on your pineal gland, which is the third eye. Oh, wow. That's a huge sign. So now it's like spiritually removing the cyst, clearing the fog, I guess you could say, from the window. All right, everyone, I'm going to hop off. What is today? Today's Friday. I'm going to make, check the community page because I'm going to make a post and see what time of day is best for everyone. I think I'll do that later today. And what days of the week as well. And then I'll kind of based off of that when I'll be on next week. But starting next week, it's going to be at least 2 hours a week of members' lives and then the other ones as well. Thank you, everyone, for coming, and I will talk to you soon.